to Will They, Won't They, a podcast for the hopeless
and the romantics.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Danielle.
And today we are talking about Love, Simon.
Love, Simon. We're kicking off Pride Month with a prideful movie.
We wanted to show our love and support to the LGBTQ plus community.
Yes.
And also, as we were a part of it, we thought it was important to shed a light.
Shine a light, shine a light.
The queerness.
On the queerness, because we are queer babes. Being a part of the queer community, we wanted to shed some light on some queer movies. We did post a story about it the other day on our Instagram, but also just wanted to, watch a little movie about gays in love.
Gays in love.
I love gays in love.
We love.
We love.
We love love.
We love love.
Love is love.
Is love. Do you ever get tired of hearing it? No.
Never.
Never.
All right. So
Love, Simon.
This movie came out in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
We were kind of joking that it's like if you're like a longtime gay, this movie might be a little bit cheesy. Yeah,
it's definitely,
I would say.
We were saying it's like a gay movie for straight people.
Yeah, it's definitely for the Indiana moms who haven't fully accepted that their kid is gay or something.
Yeah, that their kid might be queer.
It's just this kind of very baseline introductory gay is okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do think that that's still really important. I think sometimes when you live in a bubble of Los Angeles or New York or someplace that's a lot more progressive and you're part of the queer community, you can sometimes feel seriously still.
Yeah.
But the reality is the number of queer movies, and especially made for young folks, is almost nothing.
Yeah, even yesterday making that story, I was like, there's really not a lot out there that's A, not problematic and written by straight people and shot and produced by straight people that feels very gazy, but B, also just fun and something for lighthearted, something for young people. And even though this movie isn't fully lighthearted, it's about a very serious topic.
Right, but it has a happy ending.
Exactly.
So, yeah, do you want to get into it?
Let's get into it, vibes.
Let's talk about Love, Simon. So this movie is actually based on a book.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the book, Danielle?
It is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli.
I can totally hear a Hollywood exec being nah, that name's too complicated.
It's a mouthful.
It's Love, Simon. Scratch everything else.
I just imagine this dude with a big cigar in his mouth.
Yeah.
No, it's never gonna work.
Yeah.
We can't do Simon, blah, blah, blah. It's gotta be Love Simon.
So, it is based on a book, and those movies tend to be the best anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it has that feeling. That's why when we were watching, I was like, this is based on a book, huh?
Yeah, you can tell sometimes.
Yeah, you can tell when it's based on a cute YA novel.
Yeah, and it is really cute. I haven't read through the whole thing, but I've skimmed through it, and I just love YA. I can't help it.
I know,
YA
she's
books,
fun.
They're so fun.
She's fun.
So the movie opens up with Simon basically being I'm a normal kid just like you. I live in this incredible house with this incredible parents, and I have this incredible sister. My parents bought me a car, and I'm like...
Yeah, that's a little...
is that a normal, bud?
Literally, he says, I have a normal life, and the first scene is him getting a car. Not a new car, but quote-unquote new. A car, at 16 or 17. I'm like, bro, I did not get a car in high school. No. That's not normal.
No.
That's... You're privileged.
Yeah.
It's kind of weaved throughout this story. Yeah. I'm like, all right, you're, normal if, normal is,
upper middle class.
At
least,
which, by the way... is not normal anymore based on the numbers, but we
don't have to get into our capitalist rants.
We'll let it slide. So he's just a normal guy with perfect parents,
which is also not normal.
Home.
Yeah,
they're so madly in love.
They're so beautiful.
They're both gorgeous.
Sure.
The daughter's an amateur chef.
She's a little Mary Berry running around his house.
Yeah.
But then he says, I have this normal life, but I have a secret.
A big fat secret.
Big old secret.
A big fat fucking secret.
And none of you bitches are gonna know. What if that was just the movie? Figure out my secret. He's gay. That is his big secret.
We're letting you know right now.
Spoiler alert, he tells you in the first 25 seconds of the movie.
The way that they show that he's gay is he's like typing and then like there's like a lawn mowing boy or something.
There's a leaf blowing boy.
Leaf blowing, and he's like checking him out.
Yeah.
And also like, okay, we need to get into the styling of this movie, but like he compliments his shoes. Do you remember that? And his shoes are like...
They're like Nikes. They're New Balances.
No, they're like worse than that. They're like hike boot type boots.
Oh my God.
Which is good for like doing outdoor work.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I'm like, why would you compliment his shoes? I get that
I get it's like he's awkward and just wanted to talk.
But I was like...
Can't you say like, I like your hat? Even.
Or just if you're going to compliment something, make it a cool something that you're complimenting. Like I'm talking about the stylists. Like I'm like, why would you have him compliment something that wasn't actually cute? The styling in this movie. Very Indiana.
Yeah, true. Very like, yeah.
I'm saying Indiana. Sorry to anyone from Indiana.
I know, I was going to say.
It's not Indiana's a bad place. I'm just talking like middle of America vibes.
Yeah.
Love Indiana. Yep. But like, it's just that vibe of
We're never going to have another listener from Indiana.
They'll hate us.
They're like these LA girls in their bubble talking about Indiana.
As if they know. But just like a very, middle America vibe.
Yeah. I can't hate Indiana. I have friends from Indiana.
I don't hate
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I also don't hate Indiana.
But yeah, the styling is very bad. I hated it.
It's just like lame. They just didn't put any effort into it.
No.
Like I literally was like, I think the first season of Euphoria came out in 2018.
Yeah. And it's like,
you want to talk about
style,
baby.
You want to talk about a gay show for gay people.
A gay show for gay people. Not a gay show for straight people.
No.
You can feel the difference in the glitter alone.
100%.
You know?
Yeah. Remember everyone Halloween that year was like Euphoria characters?
Do you remember
glitter everywhere.
I ordered so many gems for my face? Like
we were all trying to do the Euphoria makeup. God, we miss you, Euphoria.
I know, I'm still trying.
So yeah, the style sucks, but he continues talking like, I have these amazing friends, like 2 of them I've been friends with my whole life. One of them, even though we just became friends this year, I feel like I've known her forever. And so this is Abby, Leah, and I always forget Nick.
Leah and Nick have been his friends forever, and Abby is the one who came from a different school.
Yeah, she came from DC. Her parents got divorced.
Where do they live in this?
I don't know that they ever say, to be honest. I think it's supposed to be like East Coast-ish.
It's definitely East Coast.
Yeah.
I just wonder where.
Like rural Virginia or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
where are their Waffle Houses? That would probably indicate.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have
Waffle
them in
Houses,
New York.
aren't they south?
It could be. I think because I think Kelly likes Waffle House, so I think it could be in Virginia.
Oh.
I think you could be right,
yeah.
bud.
Ooh, what if I was like right on point? They were like, this is shot in Virginia, and Danielle is right and should always say everything that comes to her brain all the time and never edit herself down.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I'm psychic, so whatever you guys are thinking while you're listening to this podcast, I can read it. So yeah, they are driving to school. They're like, oh, we just love iced coffee. Like, when I was a teenager, I did not like iced coffee, to be honest. I didn't like coffee.
Yeah. Oh, I loved coffee. That was like I drank, quote unquote, coffee, I'm going to put in quotes. And it's mostly because of like movies like Gilmore, or shows like Gilmore Girls and stuff like that, where coffee was like a main thing. And I was like, I have to be like these characters. So I would always take coffee to school every day, but it would be like, I'm not kidding when I say like 6 drops of coffee and then like an entire cup of creamer.
Yeah.
Like French vanilla coffee mate creamer.
Yeah.
Shout out.
No, I never liked it because everyone was like, it's an acquired taste. I was like, why would I want to, like, gaslight my taste buds into liking something? That's what I hear when I hear acquired taste.
That's so true. But I think that I did that with coffee for a long time. And then, like, one day I was like, I don't like this. Yeah. And I just switched to tea, and I was so much happier.
Oh, tea's so good.
Yeah. But, like, I get that coffee is, like, cool when you're a kid because you're not really supposed to have it, and it makes you feel crazy.
It makes you feel like an adult.
It's like a drug.
It's a drug. Uh-huh. But, so Leah starts talking about, we get introduced to Creek Secrets, which is their high school's, basically Gossip Girl. Like, people can send in secrets and be like, this is happening. I heard this is doing that with this person. And everyone's like, this is stupid. Why are you obsessed with this thing? But, like, XOXO, you know you love me. Everyone loves to gossip.
I feel like it, when after I graduated, thank God, there was this, like, website in my hometown that people were using for, like, gossiping and doing, like, hot or not lists and, like, all this crazy stuff. And I remember just being like, thank God I'm out of school, because this would have killed me.
Yeah.
Like, because it's on the internet now, like, for everyone to read and see, like, awful.
Yeah.
So I know that's a thing that started to, like, happen, like, after we graduated, thank God.
Yep.
I would not have been able to handle it.
Yeah, we were talking about how, like, watching this, like, seeing all, like, the teens with their phones, like, in school. Like, we had phones in school, but it was, like, T9 texting. Like, it's not like I had full keyboards. I didn't have, like, social media that I had to worry about. Like, I feel very much for the generation going through adolescence with social media and with technology, because it's rough out there, folks.
I feel like we had MySpace, and for me at least at the end there was, like, Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, my mom, she found out I had a MySpace, like a secret MySpace, and made me delete it. And I remember being like, I hate you, Mom. Stupid.
It's a mood.
It's a mood. So, Creek Secrets.
Okay, so I found out that it's that it's supposed to take place in Georgia.
Ah, I was so close. Virginia's pretty close to Georgia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure. We'll say yes. Georgia. So they talk about Creek Secrets for a little bit, and Simon's pretty much just going over this, like, monologue, just being like, you know, nobody knows I'm gay and I don't know how to come out. I know everyone would accept me. My mom's as liberal as it gets. And yeah, he's just kind of, like, going through it, because there's a character in the movie. His name is Ethan, and he's gay. And, like, Simon says at one point, like, I just wish he wouldn't make it so obvious, because he's, like, getting bullied for being gay.
There's, like, the internalized homophobia.
So it's, like, a little difficult for little baby Simon. It's hard to watch. Like,
one thing I do like about it is that it showcases, like, even when you have, like, a basically perfect setup for being gay, it doesn't make the coming out process easy. It doesn't guarantee that someone's going to feel safe to do that. You know, like,
exactly.
I think you would tend to think, like, well, he lives in a super liberal place. Like, there's already gay people at school. His parents are going to accept him. Like, why wouldn't he just come out? But it's like, there's so much more going on inside than you realize. And I just, for those listening who maybe haven't come out or came out, you know, in a way that didn't feel like quote unquote normal or whatever, I just think, like, it happens when it's meant to, and there's no pressure to, like, have it be any way. The main thing is that you feel safe doing it.
The main thing is you feel safe, and honestly, the main thing is that it does happen on your terms. Like, the way it happens in the movie is very sad and, like, really traumatizing, and it is important for it to happen on your terms, but no matter how it happens, it doesn't lessen who you are or your experience as a queer person.
Yeah, totally.
And it's just important to remember that. It's just hard, like, even growing up now, when it's, like, more accepted, it's still, like, such a scary thing, because you never know, because your parents are most parents are going to be assumed to be heterosexual, so it's like, are they going to accept me for being gay? Like, even though they, you know, haven't ever spoken against it. It's still scary, because it's just what people consider against the norm.
Totally.
Yeah.
And, like, his dad is, like, such a good example because his dad's, like, seems to be, like, a great person and, like, a really good, loving, caring dad, which is amazing. But even he makes, like, comments and kind of, you know, encourages him to have crushes on girls and, like, all these things just because he's, like, this, that, you know, that's what a dad does.
And it's, like, comments that you don't realize can be harmful to someone when you don't know what they're going through.
Totally.
You know? And it's, like, it can seem funny to make these, like, you know, kind of, like, borderline sexist and homophobic jokes just because it's, like, a dad and his boy.
Yeah.
But it's, it can be harmful when you don't realize what your son or daughter might be going through. Like, why don't you have a boyfriend? Why don't you have a girlfriend?
Yep.
You know, just talk to them.
Yep.
But...
So where were we? So we just met the friends.
Yeah, we meet the friends. We're at school now.
You're kind of feeling like, oh, this seems like such a good vibe. Like, everyone's happy and, like, you know, they're in the flow of life. You're kind of hitting them like, well, life is happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just getting a little glimpse.
Yeah, and then it's revealed that someone posted on Creek Secrets that they're a closeted gay person in the school.
Specifically, they talk about...
like, feeling like they're on a Ferris wheel. Where it goes
wink,
up
wink,
and down, up and down. Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing, baby. But yeah, it's like sometimes I'm on top and sometimes I feel like I'm completely at the bottom.
Which feels kind of like a lazy metaphor.
Also, yeah, lazy metaphor and also like, but also me in high school.
True. I mean, it's a high school
writing lazy
student.
metaphors in my diary.
Sometimes I feel like a slip and slide. I'm really fun, but there can be rocks underneath that are painful.
Oh, wow. That was actually pretty creative.
Thank you so much.
Be lazier.
Oh, I don't know how to. I'm so smart. But so Simon reads this and he's like really moved. He's like, oh my God, like someone finally can understand what I'm going through in this high school. Cause like there's really only one other gay person in the high school and I see how this person's treated and I don't want to be treated like that. So let me reach out because there's an email attached to the Creek Secret. So he's emailing back and forth with who we are told is Blue. The closeted person's name is Blue. So Simon just reaches out to say like, hey, like I completely understand what you're going through. Like I'm also gay and question like I don't know when to come out. It just all feels very scary. Totally. And while this is all going on, we meet a character named Martin who sucks and we hate him.
Martin is very much like just one of those people that has no self-awareness.
None.
Very self-involved, very much about themselves, like their own experience of reality.
And expects everyone else's experience of reality to conform to his. Like, he's one of those people, I always used to say this when I worked retail, like, when people walked through the door, they don't think that anything existed inside of this building until they walked in. Like,
oh my God, that's so
I
true.
wasn't working or doing anything until they walked through that door.
That's so true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
absolutely, I know what you mean.
That's how Martin is. Like,
God.
The room doesn't exist until he walks in. Everyone's waiting for him to come in.
The retail trauma that I feel right now just from you
hearing that. Yeah. Isn't it, like, insane? The first time I realized that, I was like, oh, people suck.
It's so real. Like, they'll just be like, oh, perfectly convenient. A salesperson just appeared out of thin air to help me.
As if I don't have like 18 books in my arm.
You don't see that I'm busy? Like, you don't see that I'm working?
I'm in the middle of a conversation with another customer and they're like, can you help me find this book?
Yeah, they ignore the fact that there's another customer. I swear I could talk about this for like 3 hours because it doesn't make any sense to me.
So love Simon. Martin sucks. We hate him. He's just very loud, boisterous. He's the lead in the play. He's the MC of Cabaret, which, like, fitting. And we find, sorry, I just lost my brain, just fried out.
Basically what happens is Simon is, like, helping with, like, the set in the theater room or whatever. and his good friend Abby is also going to be in the play.
Oh, yeah.
And
she plays Sally Bowles.
Martin has a crush on her.
A big old crush.
And he comes and he basically like pulls Simon aside and he's like, hey.
Oh, Simon was writing emails to Blue in the library.
Yeah. Well, so
yeah. Sorry.
So he's like, hey, like, I noticed that your Gmail was still logged in the library the other day. And he's like, okay. And yeah,
Good
like Simon had been, first of all, Simon, like, log out, dude.
Yeah, it's because he got distracted by the vice principal.
That's your one job.
Log
out. And maybe, like, don't do it at school. Whatever. I mean,
do it on your phone.
You shouldn't have to be that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Discreet.
But Martin, the little asshat, is like, I want Abby to go on a date with me, and I don't want to have to do this to you. But if you don't help me, I'm going to tell the entire school
that you're gay.
Through these emails.
Are you kidding? Like, these very sensitive emails where, like...
They were super vulnerable.
It's not even, like, that he's just gay. Like, it's Simon, like, talking about his experience and his emotional state. And the same with Blue. Like, this person you don't even know, you're going to expose this person's vulnerability as well. Like, disgusting. It's just fucked up. And I, like... One thing I kind of appreciate is the movie doesn't try too hard to give him a redemption arc.
No.
They give him, like, a little bump at the end, but, like... No. Hate Martin. I don't care.
I want to bring something up. Like, you think, oh, that's such a, like, movie storyline. No. Literally, the wonderful Nikki Tutorials, if you know who she is a super famous makeup artist and YouTuber, was literally blackmailed to have to come out about her transness, and which was disgusting. So brave and beautiful and amazing that she did that. But the reason she did that was because that was her only option. It was like either that or she was going to have to be blackmailed by people. Yeah. Which is disgusting.
Yeah, I meant it's disgusting that she was being blackmailed. I realized I said it's disgusting earlier. But
no, of course that's what you meant. Like, yeah, it's disgusting that
was the way she had to come out.
You about something so like, what the hell?
And she turned it into like a really beautiful experience for all of the people who were following her and like talked about it.
Especially because, and not that this matters, but because Nikki is passes like so much. Not that makes any difference about being trans, but I think there are probably a lot of people who followed her who maybe weren't necessarily like LGBTQ friendly and stuff because it was there's so many people. And for her to proudly come out and do what she did, it was like, I'm sure it changed a lot of people's minds about their beliefs about transness and how, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's who she is.
Well, and I think this movie's an important message about, like, how this does actually happen. Like, Nikki Tutorials, it happened to her. And, like, Nikki, we love you. We stan you. We think you're so beautiful. Nikki, if you're listening.
We love you so much.
Like, that whole experience, she turned something that could have been really traumatic and destroy her. And she didn't have to do this. She could have, like, really gotten upset and mad and angry, and she deserved to be that way. But she said, I'm going to take this and let this turn into a lesson of self-love and, like, show my followers this part of me. And, like, I want to share that with people now. And even though I didn't feel like I was ready, it feels like the right time.
It was beautiful.
It was absolutely beautiful. We love you, Nikki Tutorials. And these things happen to queer people, unfortunately. People a part of the LGBTQIA plus community.
All people.
Like, it feels like a movie plot line, but it's really sad.
Blackmail is real.
It's so gross. Fuck Martin.
Fuck Martin so much.
I hate Martin.
No, he's like a really bad
And his
person.
hair's stupid.
He's stupid.
He wears like slogan t-shirts. So Simon's like, wait, are you serious? Like,
that also, like, I love his reaction.
He's like,
Simon's reaction was just like, ugh.
So to date my friend, you're gonna fucking blackmail me? And like, Simon is angry at him the whole time, like, which I love. They didn't take the easy route where Simon could have been like, all right, I guess,
I get
and
it,
not feel his rage.
Like, I feel bad for you. Like,
no. So Simon goes along with it because he doesn't feel ready, and like, I understand that he doesn't feel ready to let people know. So he's like, all right, like, how much harm could it do? I'll get you to talk. I'll show you how to talk to Abby. That's fine. So they kind of go through this little thing where it's like he's looking at his clothes, yada yada. I don't want to spend too much time on Martin's plotline because he sucks.
Yeah.
And we get to this Oh, so in the emails, Blue was telling Simon that, like, he really likes Halloween Oreos. And we see one character come up, Bram, and he's eating, like, Halloween-specific Oreos. And he's like, I'm going to have a party at my house because my mom's gone, and it's going to be a Halloween party. And Simon's like, wait, what the fuck? Is it Bram?
Yeah. So then he kind of, like, I like how they do this in the movie. They, like, create, like, the fantasy for you that Simon's having of, like, what if it's Bram? And then it's, like, kind of shows Bram, like, doing the emails. Yeah. And it shows Bram, like, doing...
It's really interesting the way they do it. I think it was really creative to do those different storylines like that.
Yeah.
So we're at the party.
I love that him and Leah come as John Lennon and Yoko Ono.
Yeah.
Great costumes.
Very good cute costumes. Leah, like... It's just so obvious from the get that Leo's in love with Simon, but he doesn't get it because
he's so focused on his own
shit
thing, which is a big deal. What he's focused on, that he's not seeing that his best friend Leah is, like,
kind of got, like, blinders on.
Yeah, he's not paying attention, and he sees her in such a particular way.
Yeah,
and because he doesn't have sexual attraction to women, it's like, why would he see her in that way?
And it's like, I get where she's coming from because, like, you want to do a couple's costume with me, like, we hang out all the time. Like, it doesn't excuse what happens later, but...
I feel like I'm such that person, so, like, I really relate.
Yeah, I feel for Leah in this movie, because it's, like, she's very clearly, like, having her own feelings of insecurity, like, am I different? Like, why can't I have fun the way these other kids have fun?
Yes.
But, so, they all go to the party, and... Nick, his friend, decides to go up to Simon and say, like, hey, I have feelings for Abby. I think I'm going to tell her. And Simon's like, no, like, you can't do that. Like, because he knows, like, if Abby and Nick get together, Martin can't get together with Abby. Martin's going to take it out on Simon and expose him for being gay.
And because Simon is so afraid of that happening, he's just not ready for his friends to know or for anyone to know yet. So he... does
he does a shitty thing, but not as shitty in comparison to the shitty things that are being done to him.
And also, like, it seems kind of harmless, like, well, maybe Abby will like Martin and like it'll be fine, you know. Like, he kind of is just trying to, like, help that situation. And so he tells Nick, he's like, hey, Abby actually has a boyfriend in college, and, like, lies about Abby's love life, and, like, kind of, and he's like, and Nick's like, well, I'm gonna tell her anyway. It's like, it's too much. I need to tell her. And Nick's like, no, or Simon's like, no, like, you know, like, sexual experience and stuff like that. Like, basically tries to make him feel like he's not good enough. He's not good enough for her. Yeah. Which, that sucks. Not great, Simon. But I beg and I ask anyone, what would you do if you're being blackmailed with something? The thing is, when your brain is just so tumultuous and filled with such anxiety, you don't see very many paths to take, and B, you don't see the correct paths to take. Yeah. So you just take whatever seems like, whatever will come out of your mouth first. Yeah. And then in hindsight, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, but it's done. And it's kind of like one of those slippery slope situations where it's like, once you start... Yeah. You can't stop. So Simon is, like, working up the courage to talk to Bram about him being blue. So he's drinking. He doesn't normally drink. Yeah. He's singing karaoke with Bram. It's really cute. It's really cute. Yeah. And you're like, wait, is it him? Like, you're so stoked. You're like, oh, they would be really cute. Yeah. And then at one point, like, Simon gets thrown up on by Martin because Martin's the worst. And so he goes up to the room, to a bedroom to, like, find something to change into. And Bram's making out with a girl. So you're like, okay, Bram's not gay. Yeah, Simon's like, goodbye. Yeah. Yeah. Which was, like, a bummer. It's sad, yeah. Because there was that moment where he was like, wait, is it Bram? Can I, like, relax about this now? Yeah. 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 So then Simon and Leah get home, and, like, you can tell Leah wants to talk to Simon about it, but doesn't quite have the courage to talk to him. She's trying to tell him how she feels about him, but she can't, and he's really not open to listening. But Simon's like, you're the coolest girl in the school. Like, people don't understand you because, like, you're just so much more mature than them. And it's like, you know, Leah's listening. If Olivia Rodrigo were out then, she'd be listening to Olivia Rodrigo. She'd be listening. Sour the house down. Good for you. Jealousy.
Brutal would be like her top Spotify pick.
So true.
It's brutal out here. Same with Simon. Simon would love Olivia.
That's true. Who doesn't love Olivia?
Nick would love Olivia. Abby would love Olivia. The only one who wouldn't?
Martin.
Fuck Martin. Because he's too busy, like, listening to show tunes. Like, and coming from an ex-theater kid, he's a bit much. Like, he's a bit much.
He's a bit much, love.
So we get to school the next day, and, you know, Martin's like, I don't know what to do about Abby. Like, it feels like it's not going anywhere. So Simon decides, like, let's all go rehearse lines.
At Waffle House.
At the Waffle House.
Our cool hang spot.
So they go to Waffle House to rehearse lines, and you can tell Simon's just, like, out of it. He's really stressed. So he's emailing with Blue the entire time. And Martin is actually kind of knocking it out of the park with Abby. Like, having a really nice, vulnerable moment with her. And Simon is realizing maybe their waiter, Lyle, I think his name is, could be Blue. And so he goes outside to try and, like, flirt with him. And as Lyle comes back in, Simon gets an email. So he's like, it has to be Lyle because he was out on his phone and I got an email. Yes. So then you go through this other storyline where Lyle's the one writing it. Mm-hmm. Lyle's having, like, Hanukkah with his dad and he's going to come out to him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I just love that little part where it's like they show all the different storylines. Because I feel
like that's, at least personally, that's like what my brain would do.
100%. Yeah. I fall in love just a little bit every day with someone new.
Fall in love
just a little bit every day with someone new. I do. I can't help it.
It's your Pisces moon, bitch.
I'm a hopeless romantic. Where are we going? What is happening?
Where are we going today?
Wow. Me walking up one flight of stairs.
Stop.
Sorry, guys. So they leave Waffle House and they're driving home, and Simon's driving Abby home, and he's talking to Abby. She's like talking about how she's the new kid in school and she doesn't feel like she fits in, like she doesn't know where she belongs.
And it's like her parents just got divorced, so she's like feels like she doesn't really believe in love.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, this is someone who's also kind of can, like, understand what I'm going through.
And was having, like, this real moment of vulnerability with Simon.
Yeah. So Simon, it's so crazy because he doesn't say, like, he doesn't tell Blue, like, I'm going to come out to my friends or anything. No. He kind of just does it, which I feel like is how it happens.
And I think he was, like, inspired, too, because Blue said he was going to come out.
To his dad on Hanukkah.
And he messaged back, I don't think it's crazy. I think it's crazy brave. Anyway.
So cheesy. But so he just says, Abby, I'm gay. And Abby just says, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you surprised? And she's like, no. He's like, is it obvious? And she's like, no. It just makes sense, you know? Like, she's just, like, very kind and, like, and she just leaves the floor open for him to say what he needs to say.
Yeah, and then she just says, like, I love you. And that, to me, was such a beautiful moment. I think, like, if you're in that situation, again, like, why I think this movie is important is because, like, if you find yourself in that situation, that's such a lovely way to react. Like, to just say, oh, okay, and then to just say, I love you, you know?
I love you.
And it's okay.
Yeah. It was a really good scene. And I think it, like, is very hopeful for Simon. He's like, oh, I can do this.
And
like,
he specifically tells her to, like, please don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not ready yet.
He, like, says it really frantically, too, which makes me so sad for, like, his state of mind. Because it's like,
poor baby.
To tell someone who's clearly already so accepting to be like, please don't tell anybody, though. Like, it just makes me sad.
Know.
So after Simon comes out to Abby, they're at lunch one day, and Nick decides, you know what, I don't care if she's got a high school boyfriend or college boyfriend. I'm going to tell Abby that I like her. Like, it's fine if she says no. And Simon's like, no, she has feelings for Martin. Like, she likes Martin. Mm-hmm. And Nick's like, what the fuck? Since when? And so...
What the fuck?
What the fuck? So, you know, he tries to divert Nick's attention and is like, Leah's in love with you. Because he can tell Leah's in love with someone, and he thinks it's Nick.
Because he's so involved for good reason.
Yeah.
thinks it's Nick.
Yeah. So he's like, Leah's in love with you. Ask her to dinner. Go out with her. And he's like, really? So after school, Leah's like, Nick asked me out on a date.
I think kind of trying to like gauge how
Simon
would react.
Mm-hmm.
And Simon was like, that's great. And so Leah's like, okay, like, and I think kind of has that moment of being like, obviously Simon doesn't like me or doesn't want to be with me. Like,
yeah. Kind of that, like, accepting moment.
Like, she obviously still thinks he's straight, and that's, but, like, she is like, okay, I guess he wants me to be with, like, someone else.
So she tells Simon about the date, but, like, guys, I just have to tell you real quick, Mercury is truly in retrograde, because we've been recording this podcast for so long now, and, like, at least 13 fire trucks have driven by,
like,
saving a village of burning children, I'm sure, but, like, we have to stop every time, and it's never been this much before. This is the
craziest thing that's ever happened. Like, I'm seriously in shock.
We're getting delirious, so, like, we might be all over the place if we
goofy,
haven't.
A little laughy, a little
giggly.
Oh my!
Bear with us. This is going to be a wild episode to listen to.
I wish that I could leave it in so that you could hear how many goddamn times there's been a fire truck or a police car.
Maybe we should just leave in like a little clip of each one, just like woo,
oh,
woo.
My God.
But sorry, guys. So this episode's going to sound like it's all over the place or feel like it's all over the place.
Maybe.
But we are really trying. Mercury's just not working with us, babe.
No.
So they go to the football game that night. And he's there, Simon's there with Abby, and he sees Lyle, the waiter from Waffle House.
Yes.
And
at this time, he still thinks that could potentially be Blue.
And Abby's being really sweet, like, trying to get him more comfortable with his sexuality, being like, do you think the quarterback's hot? And Simon's like, yeah, he's fine. And she goes, is he fine? And he's like, what? He's fine. And like, it's a cute moment of, like, Simon starting to, like, kind of check people out and be okay with being gay. But she's like, oh, wait, are you attracted to Lyle? Because she sees Simon looking at him.
Kind of staring over at him.
And so she walks away, and Lyle comes up, and he's like, hey, Simon, like, I actually had something I wanted to talk to you about at Waffle House the other night. At Waffle House. And Simon was like, oh, my God, this is it. Like, he's going to tell me he's Blue. And Lyle goes, what's the deal with Abby? Is she single? And Simon's like, don't tell me you're going to blackmail me, too, for Abby's hand.
For Abby's hand in marriage.
For her dowry. And he's like, yeah. And Lyle's like, man, are you guys just friends? And Simon's like, yep. He's like, I could never be friends with someone that hot.
First of all.
So gross.
I got so many issues with that misogynistic ass dialogue.
I got so many issues with the way people put Abby on a pedestal just because she's new and don't bother trying to get to know her.
That's such a real thing in schools. Like the new person
girl
comes and you're like, oh God, new girl. Like it's just like everyone turns into The Mask.
Yeah,
like,
right. Jim Carrey.
It's just like too much.
So after Lyle leaves and Simon's feeling like really frustrated and upset because he's still no closer to finding out who Blue is, Martin comes running up, and naturally he's the mascot of the fucking football team. I say that being someone who used to be a mascot of a major theme park. But he takes the bear head off, and he's like, you know, what do you think about me and Abby? Like, I think I'm going to ask her out. Like, can we do something again like Waffle House? And Simon's like, go big or go home. Make your big declaration. Do what you need to do. Like, he's just over it.
He's kind of just dismissing him and isn't really paying attention to, like, what
the plan is.
What he's saying, because he's also just, like, just stressed about, like, the Lyle thing that just happened.
Just about life in general. And so Martin's like, go big or go home. All right. So Abby, Simon, Nick, and Leah are sitting down and watching the football game. And, this girl starts singing the national anthem, and Martin interrupts the national anthem. And Martin's like, Abby, these past few times we've hung out have been so amazing, and I just want to get to know you more, and will you go out with me? Like, he's making this big declaration of love with a microphone in front of the entire school, and everyone's watching and just like, what the F?
So she comes down from the stands, like, and gets close to him, and she's like, Martin, like, I'm so sorry, but, like, I don't see you that way. Like, I just see you as a friend.
Because they were getting close. Like, they were having a friendly relationship.
Yeah, like,
but
I think that she was seeing it more as, like...
a friendship.
Yeah.
Because, God forbid, you're friends with a man.
Yeah, or a woman... Yeah, or you have to be friends with a girl that you find attractive.
Yeah.
Nothing could be worse.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem facing white men today.
Friend zoning.
Yep. So... then things are just really awkward.
You do have a moment of feeling like...
Ooh. Because, like, one guy screams from the stands, like, she's too hot for you, bro. And, like, everyone was filming it and laughing. And, like, the vice principal goes, at least he tried. Like, let's give him a round of applause and gets everyone to clap for him. I do love that vice principal. He's so funny.
We all wish we had someone
He's really supportive and, like... makes really inappropriate comments and jokes, but is, like, just trying to relate to the kids.
Yeah.
So Creek's secret is blowing up about Martin and is like, what a loser. Like, you know, he is an idiot, this, that, the other thing. And he's dumb and we hate him.
He is an idiot.
And at the same time, Simon's like, I really, like, emailing Blue, like, I really want to know who you are. Like, you're so brave, like, and your bravery has given me the courage to, like, want to know who you are. And Blue's like, sorry, I'm just not ready for that, but I'm going up to, like, some unknown location for Christmas, or with my mom, because his dad celebrates Hanukkah. So with my mom, I'm going to some cabin in the middle of nowhere for Christmas. And then he realizes a friend from earlier said he was going to the middle of nowhere for Christmas. So then we get another storyline where it could be this other friend. I can't remember his name.
I know, me either. But... this guy is, like, suddenly the potential person that Blue could be. Because it's, like, he literally said, like, middle of nowhere. And he was like, middle of nowhere. Like, linking the story.
Like, yeah, it's like the red string on, like, a cork board.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next day, Simon gets a call from Leah. And Leah's like, Simon, have you looked at Creek's secret? And Simon's like, no, what? And she's like, go look at it now. And on Creek's secret...
oh, and Simon had been trying to call Martin a bunch before.
Yeah.
But Martin wasn't answering.
Which is sad, like, because he is trying to reach out, even though Martin does not deserve any of Simon's sympathy.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
But I also... do you think it was for sympathy? I was under the impression that he was doing it because he was like, oh no, is he going to reveal my secret?
I didn't think that. I thought it was like he was trying to, like, check in, because it is kind of like a detrimental thing for someone's mental health.
Totally. No. Yeah.
But I understand why you would think that too.
Yeah. Maybe it was a little both.
Yeah. But so Creek's secret is blowing up because an anonymous source, aka Martin, we see him typing out the email, is saying, like,
posting the screenshots
of the email saying that Simon is gay and he's keeping it a secret. And
it's like right before Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like literally like,
it's like during Christmas break.
Yeah.
And Blue is away, so Simon can't really get in touch with him, and he's like, I just want you to know something big has happened, like, please don't freak out, I'm so sorry. And Simon's just kind of, like, having a legitimate panic attack.
Yeah, for understandable reasons, and this is, like, the awful thing is that now Simon has been forced out of the closet, which is awful and traumatic and should never happen to anyone. And, like, they should be able to do that when they're ready.
100%.
And it's so cute, though, because his sister...
I was just going to say,
his sister comes into his room. She's probably, like, what, like 12 or something?
Yeah, 12 or 13. And old enough to have a phone.
Old enough to have a phone, old enough to know what Creek's secret is. And
old enough to work an oven.
And she's crying, and she's like... Simon, like, did you see? And
she was like, I just saw. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. And he is like, well, it's true. Like, I'm gay. And she just, like, hugs him. And
she, like, she says something that, like, he takes really sensitively. Like, I can't remember what it was. But, like, he kind of blows up at her. And, like, she gets really upset about it and runs away. And, like, that just fuels his panic even more. Like, because now he's fucking up with his friends. Like,
this is what we're talking about. Anyway.
So, like, when you're already in that anxious headspace and you say something that could potentially hurt someone else, you're like, great, now it's another thing I fucked up at. Like, perfect. And you just like
spiral. Yeah. So then he goes downstairs, and it is Christmas morning. And they're, like, opening presents and stuff. And he just, like, turns to his parents. It's, like, this very, like, picturesque scene.
Very Christmas story.
Very just, like, beautiful, like, lots of gifts, you know. And he turns to his parents. And we haven't talked about this, but his mom's a psychiatrist therapist. And his dad's clearly like a man's man. Well, I don't know what he does, but
he's like constantly working on the house.
He's like, putting up like lights and just doing man things. He's always wearing plaid. They want you to get across that he's very much like a guy's guy. And so he just looks at his parents and he's like, I'm gay. And, you know, they're kind of quiet. His mom is like, okay, like, that's okay. Like, you know, totally accepting. Yeah. And
his dad makes a stupid joke.
He says, like,
which one of your girlfriends turned you? Was it the one with
the
the unibrow?
The huge eyebrows? And then
his sister is like, Dad, do you ever shut the hell up?
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
She like calls him out. She calls him, he's being an ass. Like, and I was like, yes.
It was so cute.
And so that was kind of like the dad's reaction. I was saying, like, I love my dad, but I think that probably would have been his reaction too, like if my brother came out or something.
Because it's like when you have a family that's not used to like sentimental moments, that's a big moment. And like if you're not taught how to react and your defense is typically humor, you're going to resort to a joke. Unfortunately, it's at this person's vulnerability's expense.
Well, and it's also just like, I feel like
it's also a shitty joke to make.
With his dad, they don't have to say this, but you can sort of assume there is like some programming in him that like his son can't be gay. Yeah. And so he almost feels like it has to be like a joke. Like, oh, really? You're gay? Yeah. Like he almost doesn't believe it in that moment, which I think is a really, as bad as it is a very kind of, I think, like realistic reaction for a character like that to have.
Yeah. So, yeah, I completely agree. It's completely realistic without it being the typical, like, my son's not gay. And
yeah, like, he doesn't, like, reject him. Yeah. It's just, like, he clearly isn't ready to talk about it yet.
It's, like, a very middle-of-the-road reaction. Yeah. So Simon decides to start reaching out to his friends because he's kind of been, like, isolating for a couple days.
No, he doesn't talk to anyone all through...
Oh, yeah. Winter break.
Yeah. And because Blue tells him, like...
I saw the post.
This is just too much. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then he tries to email him back and it rejects his email. Like, he blocked him.
He deleted the email account.
Deleted the email, whatever. So he kind of spends the whole time super depressed. Like, and he's, like, completely isolated because...
He still hasn't had conversations with his parents.
Or his friends, like, anybody. So when, like, school starts back up after winter break...
You can tell he's kind of ready to, like, get back.
But also nervous.
Nervous, but ready to, like, talk to his friends again about it.
And you can tell he really needs their support because he's about to go basically into, like, the jungle, you know, like...
He's just been outed. Yeah. Like, he needs support. Everything else should not matter. Your friend has just been through a traumatic experience. You need to support them and talk about the other shit later. But instead, what happens when Simon goes to pick up his friends, they're all standing on the corner together, and it's like, it's just so unfair. It's 3 against 1.
It's very high school.
Yeah, and like Nick comes up and he's like, Simon, we need to talk. And Simon's like, I know, I'm sorry I didn't come out to you guys. Like, I'm sorry I didn't tell you were gay and you had to find out this way. And Nick goes, yeah, well, as you can see, over winter break, Abby and I got together.
So your storyline's complete. Good for you.
So they're standing there holding hands, and Abby was like, and Nick and I were talking about why did it take so long, because we clearly had feelings for each other. And Nick told me what you said about me, and that I was dating a college person, and you were trying to, and like, this, that, the other thing, why would you do that? And Martin's like, or Simon was like, Martin was blackmailing me. He wanted to go out with you, Abby. He told me he would tell the school that I was gay if I didn't help him go out with you. And Abby's like, I'm not some piece of meat. Like, your friend is being blackmailed. I understand that is a shitty thing to feel like. You're a piece of... I get it.
They just did not... It was... I do think, unfortunately, like, these are teenagers. You know, this is a realistic reaction when you're coming from a self-involved place. Yeah. And I mean, something you've talked about before is how, like, in your own experience of certain things, like, people will make your trauma
about
them, you know,
yeah.
like big things. So I feel like sometimes that does happen, but it sucks because in this moment, like, what you would hope for is that
just
they would be like, this is something we have to deal with because it's not okay, but I'm here for you and I can't believe this has happened.
Yeah. People, when there's a big trauma next to or near them in some vicinity of some sort, they tend to want to make themselves the center of it without it happening to them. You know what I mean? Like, they want to have it be about them, but not have to actually experience the trauma. And it's like, how can I make this about me? Because that's the only way they know how to relate to it with the other person.
That makes sense in a weird way. I mean, it doesn't, but it does.
It's like,
you know what I mean?
weird, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, with what I've been through, like, both my parents died within a year. So a lot of people, when it comes to talking about that, will be like, I'm always here for you. Like, if you need anything, let me know. Or they'll send you, like, one text and be like, thinking of you. And then, like, you never hear from them again. And it's like, a lot of people want to be able to say, like, I'm close to this person who's experienced this thing and I'm there for them without actually being there for them, or being like, you know, my great aunt died when I was 6, so I know what you're going through. And it's like kind of different, but you don't. Yeah. So it's very much that, and it's like you have to, being the person experiencing it, there's just like an expected amount of compassion for the other people who haven't experienced it, to just be like, they don't get it.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of what's going on here. It's like these kids don't know what it feels like to, and especially in like 2018, they're kind of all like, yeah, people are gay. It's not a big deal anymore. Not understanding that, like, first of all, it's still a big deal. There are so many countries where the price you pay for being gay is death.
Yeah. So his friends are less than supportive.
Definitely.
Because they're going through their own things. And Leah says, like, you know, like, I was in love with you. I'm the one who was in love with you. I wasn't in love with Nick. Like, what makes you cruel is you set me up to have my heart broken. Because you knew I didn't love Nick. Or you knew Nick didn't love me.
Absolutely.
And
because she was like, Sai, it's not even that you're gay. Like, I can deal with that. It's the fact that you didn't care that, like, I was going to get my heart broken. Which,
like, is not the truth at all. It's like, I think he just saw an easy out and just took it.
Yep.
And so not only does he lose Blue and what he thinks is his family and his friends, then he gets to school that day and everyone's being weird.
Everyone's looking at him, whispering, doing the whole, like, God, Simon.
He walks into the lunchroom, sees his friends sitting together, giving him dirty looks.
This is such a teen movie cliche.
Yeah.
Like, after the fight, when you, like, walk into the lunchroom and, like...
And everyone's like...
The table... You can't sit at your table.
Right. So then, in the middle of the lunchroom, these two jock boys who have been giving the only out kid, Ethan, a really hard time throughout the movie, they're doing this little tableau on the table where they're pretending to be Ethan and Simon fucking on the table and, like, just saying really derogatory, like, homophobic things. And Simon's theater teacher comes in and is like, nope.
Very unrealistically, but I love it. Like,
you're the worst.
Like, get the hell off the
Steals
table.
their Bluetooth speaker.
Go to the principal's office. Like, I've had it.
Yep.
You two are idiots. Like, whatever. They're like, you can't talk to us like that. And
she was like, I can and I did.
Absolutely can. Yeah.
And then they're like, can I have my speaker back? She's like, no, I'm going to sell it and get my tubes tied. Because same.
It is a nice, again, I feel like an overarching theme of this movie is, like, the adults and the spaces that Simon is in are supportive. And that's something that is new in a lot of ways. Like, no one's letting him get bullied. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a support system around him, so, which I think is nice.
Yeah. So Simon has a conversation with Ethan, who was the other kid who was being bullied, and is like, they're just kind of talking about, like, the gay experience of being in school. And Simon's like, it just seems like it's like, it comes naturally for you to be out. And Ethan's like, no, my family still lies to the rest of my family and says that I'm not gay. Like, no one's gay experience is the same. And I think that's what Simon is realizing. So Simon goes home and his mom really gives this, like, beautiful, like, has this beautiful conversation with him. Like,
it's very simple. That's what I think I really liked about it.
You get to breathe now.
She said you can. Yeah, she says you can exhale.
Yeah, she was like, the past few years I felt you holding this breath every time I was around you. And Simon, you get to exhale now.
And I love, she says, like, I didn't want to pry, and maybe that makes me, like, a bad mom. But, like, and he was like, no, Mom, like, that you're not, like, you're a great mom. And then she's just like, but now you can be you, and you are the same you. And she starts to cry, and she's like, you're the same Simon who, like, does everything for his dad, and you're the same Simon who, like, I love to tease, and who loves everything his sister makes, even if it doesn't taste good, you know?
And it's just, like, a really sweet moment.
Jennifer Garner, we love you.
We love Jennifer Garner.
Listen, we've already said this, but Jennifer Garner, if you're listening, you're a queen.
You're a queen, and we love you.
We love.
So this, like, kind of puts the wind back in Simon's sails. Like, he's like, okay, here we go. I can do this. Like, I can get back on my feet. I can repair my relationships, even though I personally don't think they should have needed to be repaired. But, so he sees Leah walking her dog and decides, like, I need to have a conversation with her. So they talk about everything, and she's just like, I don't care that you're gay, Simon. Like, I just wish we could have talked about it before all of this happened. And Simon's kind of just like, I'm so sorry. I'm like in love with this person I was emailing, like, and you can tell that kind of, like, starts to warm her heart, because she's like, it wasn't for nothing. Like, it was for someone he was in love with, that he was keeping all these secrets and doing all these things for.
And she mentions that she was, like, a little hurt that he told Abby before he told her. But his explanation is so reasonable. He's like, you know, I just met Abby. Like, she doesn't know me, like, the way that you guys do. And it was just, like, less scary to tell someone that hasn't had this, like, long history with me. And I think that Leah really felt that and understood it.
Yeah, 100%. It's a nice moment. And, like, Leah's like, all right, fine. We're good. Yeah. So after that scene, he starts to repair relationships. He talks to his dad.
Oh, I really love this moment. This moment, like, really makes me cry. He's, like, coming back from the walk, and his dad's outside, like, always with a saw or something. And he's just like, how long have you known that you're gay? And Simon was like, probably since I was, like, 13. And his dad's just, like, teary-eyed, and he's like, I should have known. Like, I should have seen it. He was, like, 4 years. Like, I should have known. And, like, all the comments I made and the things I said, like, you could tell he felt really bad. And he was just like, you know, I'm sorry I didn't see it. And Simon was like, Dad, no, it's okay. Like, and his dad just starts to cry, and it's first of all, like, thank you for showing, like, a grown, you know, masculine, quote-unquote, man being vulnerable with his son. Yep. That's so important. It doesn't make him gay. Yep. It just shows that he loves and cares about this person so much that it evokes strong emotions. Absolutely. And they hug, and then his dad's like, maybe we could, like, do Grindr together. And he's like, Dad, you don't know what Grindr is, do you? Yeah.
He's like, isn't it Facebook for gay people?
And Simon's like, no. No. But it's really cute that he's, like, making an effort like that.
And, like, his dad it's, like, the more people that start to accept him, the more people that are building his confidence to, like, try to reach out to Blue again, or, like, try to, like, just exist and be gay and not have it be this, like, big, looming, scary thing, even though it can be. So they perform cabaret. You know, where am I? What's happening? Simon sends an email to Creek Secrets and is like, Blue, I'm not really ready to give up on us. Like, it's true, I'm gay. Like, he's, like, telling the whole school, like, this is me, I'm gay. Like, unfortunately, it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, but what you read is true. And over the past few months, I've been writing to another person who has felt the same way I've been feeling, but they got scared off. And Blue, like, I want to meet you on the Ferris wheel at the carnival tonight. Like, I want the romantic gesture, like, all this stuff. And it's really sweet. And so that night, they have their performance of cabaret that they've been preparing for. And you see him after the performance, like, getting his makeup off or whatever. And Leah's talking to Abby and Nick, and they walk over and Abby and Nick are like, hey, Simon, want to go to the carnival tonight? And it's, like, really cute because it's them, like, showing their support. And they're like, we're over it.
Which is fine. Yeah.
But, like, you should also apologize.
But they're over it and they're all going to be friends again, which is what Simon really needs, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's, at the time, it's exactly what he needs. So after Cabaret, they all go to the carnival. And, you know, Simon's kind of scared because he has to get up on the Ferris wheel. And everyone's like, you can do this. And, like, there's, like, a crowd of people watching because he sent it into Creek Secrets. And he gets on the Ferris wheel, and
like at first no one shows up.
Yeah, he goes around like for a full minute, like a couple turns, and nobody shows up, and everyone's starting to get like really depressed and like, oh, like, oh no. So then he's about to get off, and Martin comes running up, and he's like, Simon, it's me. I'm the one who's been gay all along. It was me all along. And Simon's like, no, it fucking wasn't. Like, of course, once again, Martin making it about him. And Martin's like, no, it's not me, but I'll buy you one more round on the Ferris wheel, and hopefully it'll happen. So as Martin's walking away and they're about to prepare the Ferris wheel, we hear someone say, is this seat taken? And it's Bram. It's Bram. And Simon's
he
like...
He was right all along.
And Simon's like, yeah, I was kind of waiting for someone. And Bram goes, I know. Aww. And it's so cute. It was Bram all along. Simon was right. And everyone's cheering. And they have a kiss at the top of the Ferris wheel.
It's so cute. They have a little kiss.
And the actor who plays Bram is so cute. Also one of, like, the only queer people in the cast, which I really love.
Yeah.
Keenan Lonsdale, I think his last name is. They're amazing. Like, Keenan is so beautiful. Amazing. And love everything they're doing.
Gorge.
And so, yeah, they make out, like, everything's kind of wrapped up in a neat bow. So, like, the end ends with, like, another monologue of him being like, my life is normal.
Yeah.
And now it actually kind of is. Like,
and now I can be myself.
I don't have to have this big secret. Like, he's picking up his friends to go to school. Mm-hmm. And, like, Bram is now a part of that friend group, and it's really sweet to see. So cute.
And it's just like it's just nice. It's just happy. It just feels good. And
it's such a good ending. I think it's like hella cheesy, but like rom-coms, baby.
Let's get into the cheese.
I'm lactose intolerant, but let's get into the cheese.
Take a Lactaid, bitch.
Oh god.
You know? I mean, I just think that like there's such a it's just such a squishy feeling. And
this movie makes me feel pretty squishy.
And I feel like, well, actually, you know what, Danielle?
What?
How does this movie fuck you up?
Honestly, not to reiterate, but as a queer person, it fucks me up because it's so nice to see just like a non-tragic queer film. Like, I'm right there with everyone. Like, sometimes it can get tiring seeing coming out films, but like I feel like they're still so necessary to tell because some people are still struggling, and like those old narratives maybe don't, you know, resonate with them.
Totally.
So it's still nice to have new narratives, but also open the floor for new ideas and new films where it's just like a regular rom-com of two queer people. Catherine.
Yes.
How'd this movie fuck you up?
I think basically the same as you. That feeling of having to like really show yourself and be vulnerable. It comes in like many shapes and forms, but I kind of enjoy that in the queer storyline, like a queer rom-com. And again, this doesn't always have to be part of it, but not only is it about accepting like or finding love, it's about truly accepting yourself. Yeah. And I think that's really beautiful, and I think that's something that gay, straight, it doesn't matter. There is a time in your life when you have to accept all the parts of you for who you really are. 100%. And I commend every queer person who has ever done that, because it's not easy. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's how, also just like the dad and the mom, like
supportive parents.
Just seeing supportive parents like that is so beautiful. And hopefully will inspire other parents to be the same way. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, 100%. So, did they? Or didn't they?
They did.
They did. Of course they did. It's so cute.
So cute.
We're happy they did and continued to do, because there's like a TV show now called
Love Victor.
Which
I haven't watched.
I watched the first season. Like, it's fine.
Kelly loves it.
Oh, nice. But they did, and, you know, if you are struggling with your sexuality or, you know, questioning, just know, like, you have a support system. You're not alone.
You're not alone.
There's
reach out
so
to
many
us.
reach out to us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Will They, Won't They pod.
Yeah.
And Katie and I will happily talk to you.
Yeah.
Or if you feel like you don't have that personal support system, we'll also link resources in the bio of this episode if you need them. But happy Pride, everybody.
Happy
Embrace
Pride!
who you are. Thank you for sticking with us through this episode. It has been a wild ride from start to finish this episode. Mercury retrograde's in effect, but Pride is here, so we are just... We're here,
happy,
we're queer.
We're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere, and we hope you continue to listen despite our many faults and flaws.
No.
Just kidding. We have no faults or flaws.
Yeah, we're perfect.
We're perfect. Like and subscribe, you guys. Download the episodes.
Yes.
Leave a review.
Leave reviews. Leave funky, fresh reviews.
Yeah.
Give us a little something.
Rate us on Apple. We're on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, we're on Apple, and if you rate us, it's like that other people will be able to find us.
Yeah.
Oh, also, if you are a part of the 2 people from the UK who are listening to our podcast, please send us a message. I want to know who you are.
So intrigued.
I'm just not really excited because I just love
now
the UK
they're never
so
going to
much.
message us.
Yeah, they will.
I'm kidding. But yeah, this was a really fun one to do. Thank you for indulging us and letting us, you know, really have this nice, proud moment of embracing being queer and, like, watching a cute queer film and, like, just going for it, you know?
Totally.
We hope you guys liked this episode and didn't hear too many police sirens in the background.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.